Hello everyone and welcome guys to AOR. It's time for the Monaco Grand Prix, and for those of you guys that just watched that little intro there, that was, what, 3 years ago now, back when this channel had about 300-400 subscribers and we were racing back in AOR here at the Monaco Grand Prix. We had a 15-second lead, final lap, and then we got disconnected, unfortunately. Monaco in AOR has been a almighty pain for me. It's the one that everyone wants to win, and still, after 4 attempts, I've not been victorious here. I've had 2 poles in the past coming into this place, and that was one of them, and then the other I got a lag start. Got taken out at T1, and then got taken out numerous times over the course of the race. And yeah, this is obviously the one that everyone wants to win, myself included. Desperately want to win the Monaco Grand Prix here in Apex Online Racing. It's the ultimate test. You know, you get no rewinds, no second chances, anything like that. And yeah, this place, like everyone always says, it's the jewel in the Formula 1 crown. And heading on, though, into this Grand Prix weekend, I've always got a bit of an affinity for the Monaco GP track as well. It's one that obviously suits me quite well. It's a bit weird. It's, yeah, one that it's strange. I'd probably say I enjoy driving it a bit more on the last couple of games. Obviously, I managed to qualify for the F1 Esports Monaco race around here, and then my pedals decided they didn't want to work during the race. So yeah, this place, I always feel fairly quick round. Never seem to have the rub of the green, though, around this circuit. And coming into my qualifying session here, I wanted to get a quick lap in as early as possible here. You know, I was leaving nothing on the table in the early stages of this session. They're already down on a 9.6 as we head through the final couple of corners of my second run here. We're actually going to be another 2 tenths up there, and it's going to be a 1 minute 9.44 there, so really quite happy with that in the early stages of this session. And we would obviously go out for another couple of runs in the latter stages of the session. Right on board now then is going to be my quickest lap from the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying session here, breaking down just at the 100 metre board there underneath the marker, even I should say the gantry, leaving it in 6th gear up towards T1. They just want a little bit more engine brake, then obviously leaving it up in 6th up towards the top of the hill, brake just over the zebra crossing as we head down through next couple of corners there. 4th gear down to 3rd, try and get as close to the wall on the entry and the exit as possible. Obviously, the Monaco Grand Prix circuit is all about just trying to make it as wide as possible. You've really got to try and ride up towards the walls here. Try to take as much curb as you possibly can through the hairpin there. That'll give you the most rotation through there. And quickly short shifting up into 2nd before back down to 1st through Portier, obviously where Senna famously binned it there, down in towards the tunnel. And you can see, obviously, all the way up into 7th gear this time around, braking just after the 100 metre board, just as the curb actually starts to come a bit close to you there. Try to take as much curb as you possibly can, and now down in towards the back here. Leave it in 5th gear there this time around, being very, very brave, just not skimming the wall on the X there. Attacking the curbs through the entry of the swim push chicane, and then through the second part as well. All the curb abuse in the world there. Down in towards Raskas, get the car slowed down, back down into 2nd gear there, in through Anthony Nogues, and up towards the line, and that has been a lap of the Monaco Grand Prix circuit, and that was a 1 minute 9.177 there, about 9 tenths off my PB, but still really, really happy I was able to get that lap in at the end of the day there. We would obviously go out right towards the dying stages of the session as well, and you can see once again actually pretty much evenly matched with my previous time. They're actually now slightly in the green as we head down in towards the back there. Don't quite get the run that time around, skim the wall, and unfortunately a Renault upside down halfway through the swim push chicane obviously completely ruined my run right in the end there. And I mean, Vulcan, he's taken the Nico Rosberg strat of binning it with a few seconds to go there to a whole new level, upside down on the racing line. That is quite impressive there. So yeah, unfortunately that lap we would invalidate, but only 7 thousandths of one of my previous laps nonetheless there. So yeah, quite happy at the end of the session there. It would be P1, and yeah, that would actually mean we had, including the invalidated lap, 3 laps. That would have been good enough for pole there at the end of the session. It would be myself ahead of Vulcan, BOR Hamilton there, a very, very quick qualifier in recent weeks. Stewie in 4th, X-Power, Constant Ryan, Humperdinck, Schweiz, LCR Ben, Joker, Jamie, Weasel, Kez, and then Riley unfortunately stacked it in the early stages of the session there. But that is pole position for the Monaco Grand Prix, but we've been in this position twice before in the past, and we've still never got quite what we wanted here around this circuit. There is a long, long way to go. 39 laps here, about, what's that, 78, 80 miles? Doesn't actually sound like a lot when you put it like that, but it is 78 grueling, intense, and very close to the wall miles around this place nonetheless. You can see pole by near enough 3 tenths of a second over Vulcan. I was certainly take that at the end of the session there. And yeah, plenty of work though to do. It's almost time then. We're ready for the Monaco Grand Prix. But unfortunately, it wouldn't quite be as easy as that. Someone had unfortunately joined the session before we were meant to get going, so they managed to start the race in this one there. So that meant we actually had to restart the lobby, hence why the game's recommending me better strategies and everything like that. But obviously we did have to stick to the tyres that we had qualified on. So we have got the minor advantage of a couple of laps of fresher rubber here. But I was actually going to take a bit of a gamble. We're going very, very low on fuel for this track. You know, you can really, really shred your engine around here. So I'm actually going to go on 37.8 laps of fuel, going 2 laps under, ready for this Grand Prix. Yeah, like I said, 78 miles, 39 laps. This is certainly going to be a difficult one. And yeah, I so desperately just want to win here at the Monaco Grand Prix. We have got Vulcan on the outside as we get ready for the start there. And obviously this formation lap, probably more crucial than most on F1 2019. You know, really, really trying to work some heat up into the tyres obviously here, because if Vulcan gets us down in towards turn 1, if I get a really poor start, which I have had recently, that could really, really screw up our race at the end of the day there. So yeah, we need to get a good start here today, probably the most critical start of the season. Obviously qualifying is so important. We did the hard work, got it on pole, and now it's just a case of trying to hold on to the lead. Step 2 is holding it in towards Tandavot at turn 1 there, as we line back up then, ready on the grid for the Monaco Grand Prix. Everyone's now getting back slotted into place. The game's actually pointed to be quite extremely towards the outside wall there as we get ready for the start. Then the lights are coming on now. It's 5 lights here for the Monaco Grand Prix, and it is finally lights out and away we go there. Very, very monitoring the wheel spin through first gear there, and we actually get quite a good drive down in towards turn 1 there. Do what we needed to. BLR Hamilton actually tries to have a look up the inside of Vulcan there as well, but we have completed step 1 of the Monaco Grand Prix there. We've held onto the lead through the first couple of corners here, trying to make sure, as everyone always says around this place, settle down into a rhythm as quickly as possible here. You know, the first few laps completely dictate your race here as we come through the Fairmont hairpin at the lap 1 here. You know, everyone bunching up. Constantino, and I think a few people picked up some front wing damage towards the rear of the field there, including my teammate Jamie. So a bit unfortunate for him at the start of this race there. Through Portier and then through the tunnel section on lap 1, obviously trying to work out what the brakes are doing, make sure everything's up to temperature, everything's all working all correctly there, and you can see coming down in towards the chicane, they're trying to attack as much curb as we possibly can here. But Vulcan, he was looking very, very quick as well in this Grand Prix. You know, he'd set a blistering time trial time as well. I think we were both inside the top 50 on time trial, which was absolutely mad heading into this race there. So yeah, really, really was kind of wary of him in this race as well there, as we come out the final couple of corners to finish off at lap 1 there. You can see the gap to Vulcan behind us is 0.7 of a second here, so we need to push in the early stages of this race here. Just trying to build up, you know, a good sort of 2-3 second margin over Vulcan just behind us there. End of lap 2, we set obviously the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, already back down to a 1 minute 12.6, and I'm not too sure what's happened to Vulcan here. I think he's actually suffering with some lag, so Stewie now actually jumps up into P3. Hamilton now up into second place of this Grand Prix here, and you know, hopefully this is all just happening behind me. We're not going to get Vulcan suddenly land on top of me as we head down the hill here. But yeah, hopefully we can just try and continue on there. A 2.1 second advantage over Hamilton there as we head towards the end, well, actually just through sector 2 of lap 3 here, and you can see coming down towards the final couple of corners of lap 4 here, the gap now up to near enough 3 seconds to BOR Hamilton just behind us there, and you can see coming through the final couple of corners there, the safety car has been deployed, of course, just after I make it past the pit lane entry there. That is exactly what happened to me back in Season 12 around this track as well. The safety car, yeah, it never quite works out in my favour here. We always try to, you know, build up an advantage at the start there, and once again, it basically has meant that pretty much everyone else has got a free pit stop in this Grand Prix there. Schweiz has opted to stay out as well here, and you can see by the end of lap 5, I was really, really debating just coming in on the end of the lap, coming back out in sort of P6, P7, and trying to do what everyone else was doing and try and take the hards to the end of this Grand Prix. But my teammate Jamie, though, he was saying that, you know, the tyres really weren't working out, those hard tyres. You know, even just under the safety car pace, they were feeling really, really poor here in the opening stages of this race. Whether they'll sort of come into their own towards the end, we'll have to wait and see here. But I decided we'd stick it out. We tried to build up the margin once again here and just try to go for the fresher tyres right the way through to the end of this Grand Prix there. The safety car will actually be brought in very, very late on the end of lap 6 here. I was getting ready for another lap, and yeah, unfortunately for myself there, it does actually dive in on the end of lap 6 there, which means we're going to have a few more laps to really try and pull out the margin once again here. Green flag racing here at the Monaco Grand Prix, and now, yeah, we've got Schweiz just behind us who hopefully can try and help us out here in this Grand Prix, try to build a gap to the cars behind as well. And yeah, now we're going to try and use up the rest of the soft tyre grip here, and you can see coming towards the end of lap 7 here, Schweiz dropping back ever so slightly on the end of that lap there, struggling to get quite back up to the operating window that I'm sure he would have liked there, and you can see already built up a 1.5 second margin once again there. Hamilton back up to 2.6 behind us as well here, but obviously he now is looking like he's going to try and go right the way through to the end of this Grand Prix. On to lap 9 now, and you can see the gap up to 2.3 and then 3.7 over BOR Hamilton as well here. So we are slowly but surely making this work at this stage of the day there, and by the end of lap 11 here, you can see Schweiz is actually going to dive into the pit lane on the end of that lap there, which means Hamilton now, he's got clear air, he can focus on his own pace. We're really going to have to judge, see how much he's able to close in over us on the next couple of laps here. 6.3 as we head in towards lap 12, and you can see still just trying to push like absolutely crazy here. Quick but careful is probably the best way to go about it at this stage of the day there. And by the end of lap 13, you can see the gap to Hamilton was starting just here. We'd pulled that a couple more tenths, but yeah, it was starting to come back down once again here. So we would dive into the pit lane on the end of lap 13 here. We had to take the tyres one lap longer than the game thought we could, but obviously that was sort of helped by the safety car as well here. And yeah, we would dive it into the pit lane the end of lap 13. Where are we going to come back out in this Grand Prix? We're going to be back down to 7th. It might be 8th behind Constant Ryan, maybe even 9th actually behind my teammate Jamie as well here. And we are going to come back out of the pit lane here. Constant Ryan's going to be able to get back around the outside there. Jamie down in towards turn 1 there. We almost hit the inside pit wall there, lock the rear brakes as we head out of the pit lane. And yeah, that's going to mean we come back out in P8 there between Constant Ryan and my teammate Jamie as well here. So that's not worked out too badly for myself. And just look at the extra grip we've instantly got in this Grand Prix. Obviously the tyres are 10 laps newer than the rest of the field here, and obviously Constant Ryan as well on that harder compounded tyres. You know, we would just look how much grip we've got. We're not even pushing at the moment, and we're pushing him through down the hill here in towards Portier. We need to try and get the move done as quickly as possible here. We're actually going to get a really good run out of Portier through the tunnel here, down in towards the Nouvelle Chicane. Are we going to be able to make any sort of move? We're going to go late on the brakes. Sergio Perez, eat your heart out. And yeah, we're going to be able to get up the inside and now up into P7 of this Monaco Grand Prix once again here. And yeah, now really happy with that one. And we've got a 6 second gap pretty much exactly to Vulcan up the road here. How much are we going to be able to close up over the next couple of laps here as we head in towards the final couple of corners? We'll actually have a look at the end of this lap, just how much time have we taken out of Vulcan in just one sector here. We're already going to be down to 5.5, so we've taken half a second out of him in just one sector there. And a lap later, 5.5, what was the gap down to now? Down to 3.2. 2.5 seconds nearly we've taken out of him, sorry. No, it's gone back up to Joker there. And yeah, you can see by the end of lap 16, we'd instantly got up to the back of these guys here. We'd taken out 5 seconds in the space of 2 laps here. And yeah, we really need to try and continue on there. I think that's Vulcan actually picking up just a tiny bit of front wing damage here in this Grand Prix. And now we're all over the back of Joker as well here, and hopefully, you know, these guys aren't going to try and put too much of a fight up. You know, 22 laps to go this Grand Prix, there's not going to be much they can do there. We're going to have a look up the inside of Joker, but no! Slams the door shut way too late, in my personal opinion there. You can't be doing that here, especially at Monaco there. You know, we made the move clear, and he just decided to slam the door shut right when we were on the inside. It was lucky I bailed out as soon as I did there, because, well, Joker, that could have easily been both of us into the wall here, trying to get the run like we did on Constant Ryan there, down in towards the next chicane. We're going to have a look up the inside, and once again, Joker slams the door shut very late that time around. He sort of implied he was going to try and defend, but yeah, still a bit too late, in my personal opinion there. He left the door open and then slammed it shut once again here. And just look at the extra grip we've got as we head in towards the final few corners of the lap here. There is nothing really Joker can do there. Wheel spinning up in towards Raskas. Going to try and look round the outside here. What are we going to be able to do? Just about gives me the room, and then through the final corner, he's going to completely slam the door shut once again here. And you can see, despite getting a much worse run, we're still all over the back of him as we head down in towards turn 1 there. He's still not going to try and give us the room there. Takes a lot of curve through turn 1. We're going to be able to get the run up the hill here. He's going to try and give me the squeeze as we head up towards the top of the hill there, round the outside in towards Massenet, and no, he's going to put me in the wall. He's going to spin out. Not too sure how that even happened for him there. And yeah, we get a warning for a collision as well there. And honestly, that was game over in my books. You know, there was no way we were going to be able to recover after that. You know, we've got half a race to go, 20 laps, and we had to make another pit stop. We were still a good, what, 5, maybe 10 seconds behind the leader as well here. It was going to be, yet again, game over here in the Monaco Grand Prix. We will actually stay out one more lap on this front wing to just see how bad it was, and yeah, ultimately it just costed us too much time as we head in towards the final couple of corners of lap 19 here. So we've now got half a race to go. We're going to go into another set of the medium compound tyres here and just try to take them right the way through to the end. We're going to be back out all the way down in P9 of this Grand Prix here, and we're going to be what? You can see Hamilton coming through sector 1 here. We're still down in the pit lane here, roughly. Luckily, I had Riley who was telling me the gaps. Hamilton was about 32, 33 seconds up the road as we came back out the pit lane there. He's down in Portier, we're at T1, so yeah, good sort of 30 seconds, just over 30, 35 seconds, about half a lap here at the Monaco Grand Prix circuit. And yeah, we thought, you know, maybe, you know, just score some points, maybe a top 5 perhaps is on the cards in this Grand Prix. Yeah, it was basically going to be over for us at this stage of the day. There, 14 seconds to Schweiz just up the road as well. There was certainly going to be a long second half of this Grand Prix. We had Weasel just behind us as well. But yeah, hopefully now we can just try and pull, you know, try and get back up towards the rear of the field once again. There, Joker would rage quit as well there in the next couple of laps. You can see by lap 21 though, the gap to Schweiz, we'd taken 7 seconds out of him in 2 laps. We got down to 1 minute 12.1 there. We were 3.5 seconds a lap quicker than him at the moment. The gap on the end of that lap was 7 seconds. Schweiz then dived it into the pit lane, and we were setting 11.9 now, and Jamie was just 6 seconds up the road. You know, he was a good sort of 1.5 seconds up on Schweiz as well. So 6 seconds to Jamie now up in front of us here. And what is the gap going to be as we head towards the end of lap 24? 2.6. Another 3.5 seconds we've taken out of Jamie on that lap. And you can see the gap to the leaders as well. You know, that gap was coming down to absolutely everyone in front of us here. And by the end of lap 24 here, you can see the gap to Jamie, 0.8 of a second there. He'd actually make a mistake, skim the wall there, so he's going to let me through as we head down in towards La Rascasse there. And yeah, that's going to mean back up now into P7 of this Grand Prix. Constant Ryan now, the next man up the road once again. And like I said, we did have Riley in the party who's, you know, keeping me monitored on the gaps, and we were taking, you know, a good sort of 2.5 seconds out of the leaders in this race as well there. What, 5 laps ago they were down at Portier when we were at T1. This time around they were barely down into Mirabeau, or sorry, the upper Mirabeau around this track as well here. So we were a man on a mission here. You know, like I said, top 5 was, you know, possible in this Grand Prix, but potentially, you know, a podium with how much we were closing up was still on the cards here. But still, everything around this Monaco Grand Prix circuit is just trying to get past the other cars as well here. And once again, all over the back of Constant Ryan. Are we going to be able to repeat what we did to him in the early stages of this Grand Prix here? But once again, going to try and look up the inside. Not quite able to get the run, but we later on the brakes once again almost clipped the inside wall there. No idea how we didn't, and that is deja vu of the inside of Constant Ryan there. Kezimoto, blue flags are out. We're going to get around the outside of him. And I'm not too sure what even happened here through the final few corners of the lap. Vulcan would once again suffer with desync, so we'd be able to get past him. Humperdinck as well, I'm not too sure what happened to him. X-Power would have to dive into the pit lane. He picked up front wing damage, and Stewie, he retired from the Grand Prix as well. No idea what happened in the space of half a lap there. Well, we went back up from P7 back up into P3 of this Grand Prix there, so I have no idea what's happened there. But we are now back up onto the podium here in Monaco, and that should hopefully make my life just a little bit easier here. We've got a third of the race to go. The VSC has now been deployed as well here. And what is the gap to Humperdinck just up the road here? As you see, coming towards the start of lap 27, it's down to 4.3 seconds here. So P2 is on the cards in this Grand Prix there. And you can see by the end of lap 27 here, I actually include this as well. Schweiz would make blue flags just that little bit easier for myself there, as he'd actually drop it down at the Nouvelle Chicane now. And yeah, 12 laps to go now of this Grand Prix. What is the gap to Humperdinck? You can see it's down to 2.6 here, so we're taking yet another 1.6 seconds out of the car in front here. Are we going to be able to take out much more in towards the final couple of corners of the lap there? You can see Humperdinck now just in front of us as we head through the final corner there, through Anthony Noakes. And what are we going to be able to do? What's the gap up towards the start-finish line? It's down to just 1.7 seconds here, so another second taken out of him in just the third sector alone here. We were a man on a mission here. P2 was possible now in this Grand Prix. You can see by the end, well, by the midway stage, lap 28 here, we were now all over the back of Humperdinck. And what are we going to be able to do as we head down in towards the Nouvelle Chicane? Obviously nowhere near close enough to try and go for a move this time around here, but still now we're trying to line up a move, thinking about trying to go for an overtake on Humperdinck as well here. You can see get right up to the wall as we head through to back here. But just look at the extra grip we've got over him. You know, our tyres are, what, 16, 17 laps fresher? They're also a quicker compound as well. And yeah, these mediums are really, really working out well in these late stages of this Grand Prix here. Now, they really just did hold their own in this race. They're trying to use the hot lap mode down in towards turn 1 here. Is Humperdinck going to be able to do much in terms of the fence up the hill here? We're going to try and get the drive on the X there. We do get the run there, and Humperdinck's aware of it, and he does just bail out there. I think he, you know, Humperdinck is he's like the Prost of this league. He scores the points. He plays the maths game in this World Championship, and yeah, we were trying to do the Senna and win the Monaco Grand Prix nonetheless there. And lap 29, the gap down to Hamilton, 4.3 seconds. We'd taken half a minute out of them in 9 laps. I don't know how that was possible, in all honesty. We just got into a rhythm, and you know, you've sort of always got to aim for that tunnel vision around the Monaco Grand Prix. You got to, I think it was Senna, I'm pretty certain, that said, you know, he felt almost out of the car just driving around this place. You know, you're sort of almost concentrating so much that you're not even concentrating. You know what Formula 1 drivers say about, you know, the best time is when the car feels like it's grown from your hands and legs. That's how it felt at the moment. You know, we were just in the zone, in the rhythm, and by the end of lap 30, we were now all over the back of BOR Hamilton here. What are we going to be able to do? We're just 9 laps to go here. Surely Hamilton's going to try and defend. I'm sure he wants this Monaco Grand Prix victory as much as myself here. Now, as we head up the hill once again here, are we going to be able to get the drive? Not quite able to get the run this time around there. Hamilton very, very clever on the exit of the corner there. But you can just see how much grip we've got as we head down towards the bottom of the hill once again here, all over the back of me. We think about going for a send up the inside, but couldn't make it work this time around. Down towards the bottom of the hill, in towards the Grand Hotel hairpin. What are we going to be able to do? Just pushing Hamilton through there. He's got no grip on those hard compounded tyres there. We actually get a warning for that piece of contact there, and are we going to be able to get the run out in towards the tunnel here? We're certainly all over the back of him still. We need to try and get the run down in towards the chicane. Are we going to be able to go for anything? No, Hamilton, even on the brakes there, locks up the runs deep. We're going to try and go for the switchback move on the exit here, side by side, down in towards the back here. We're on the outside. We try to give him the room. He does give us the squeeze there. We're going to stick round the outside through the first part of the swimming pool chicane now. We are now up into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix there, and I don't know how we made that one work. They're limited contact, no damage, and we are now up into the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix here with just 8 laps to go of this race. I'm lost for words at the moment. You know, we've gone from 9th back to 1st. We made up a 33-second deficit in 12 laps here around this Monaco Grand Prix circuit. We were in the rhythm, we were in the zone, and now what we needed to do was just try and bring it home here. But it got to that point, like I said, where we were in such a rhythm. If we tried to slow down too much, that can actually put us in a bit of a worse situation than still trying to drive, you know, sort of 95, 96%. You don't really want to drop down to 90%, because that's when mistakes can start to creep in here. And you can see we were still pulling out 2.7 seconds a lap over Hamilton here. And I think, you know, he had probably gone on to just bring it home mode at this stage of the day there. But you can see lap 39 now we go. We've got an 18-second lead over Hamilton, and I must be honest, memories of season 12 were starting to come back in here. You know, I had this sort of margin in the past. You know, it can all go so horribly wrong. Still 1 lap to go of this race here, through the first couple of corners here, down the hill. This is where we disconnected. We've made it this far this time round, and yeah, we now have got through, well, 2/3 of a lap to go here, through the Grand Hotel hairpin once again here. You know, just trying to bring it home, hoping, praying for no disconnect, through Mirabeau, down in towards turn 8, in towards Portier here, and now down in towards the tunnel in one final lap of this race. We're now down to just 9 runners in the Monaco Grand Prix. It's certainly been a race of attrition. Turn 10 down at the Nouvelle Chicane, turn 10 and 11. They're trying to attack the curb still as much as possible. Still trying to open up this circuit as best as we can. Down in towards the back, one of my favourite corners on this track here. Through the first part of the chicane there, I think that's Piscine Pool Swim Pool chicane there. And then through the exit, down into La Rascasse one final time there. Turn 17, turn 18 and 19. of Anthony Nogues, and through the final corner, now with the run up to the start-finish line, finally, we have won the Monaco Grand Prix. That I cannot believe it. 3 years in the making now. 4 attempts, 3 pole positions, and finally we have come out on top here on the streets of Monaco. That has taken much, much longer than I ever wanted it to at the end of the day there, but so happy in the end that we made that work. We did win the race by 18 seconds over Humperdinck because unfortunately I did have a 3-second penalty, so we did win by 20.9 seconds on the road over Humperdinck there. It was about, what, 17.5, oh no, 20.5 even, sorry, I should say, over BOR Hamilton in the end there, and obviously we pulled that out in just 8 laps towards the end of the day there, and actually straight after the race, Xbox Live would basically just die, so yeah, luckily we finished the race when we did there. That would have been heartbreaking had we disconnected twice on the final lap of the Monaco Grand Prix there, but still getting to spray the champagne at the end of the day, picking up the silverware, exactly what I needed, and the full 25 points, especially after such a rough race out last time at Spain, or what I can even call a race. We got taken out at T1, got taken out on lap 2, and then my Xbox crashed on lap 7 there. And yeah, really happy to come back. The full 25 points in the bag as well means we're now back up into P2 of the Drivers' World Championship. We'll try and get up the points quickly as well here. Where are we? We are back up into P2 in the standings. I think we're about 27, 28 points behind Humperdinck, I want to say, as we leave Monaco here. I'll try to put the standings up on your screens as well there. And yeah, having a look at the final results. Myself, we won by 18 seconds, near enough over Humperdinck. Our fastest lap, 1.5 seconds clear of him. Hamilton in P3, 23 seconds back. X-Power in P4, half a minute behind. Vulcan in 5th there, still after all those laggy incidents. And Jamie, we overtook him with 15 laps to go. We still beat him by 1 minute and 15 seconds at the end of the day there. Constant Ryan in P7, Weasel, and then Kezimoto gets his best result of the season, 2 laps down in at P9 there, with Schweiz, Stewie, Joker, Riley, and Ben all not making it through at the end of the day there. But yeah, Humperdinck leads the way, 108 points there ahead of myself on 81, Stewie on 77, Vulcan on 67 there, Jamie on 52, with Ben on 48 there, his first DNF of the season. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. That now means that Humperdinck is the only man to have scored points in every race so far this season. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. Get yourself subscribed if you're new around here as well. And hopefully, I will see you guys next time out for the Canadian Grand Prix.